past few years, we have seen such a huge uprise with small businesses promoting their storefronts on TikTok Shop. And it has just spiraled all out of control to the point where dropshippers are taking advantage and getting away with it and using terrible quality items that they can get from like Temu, Shein, Alibaba, AliExpress, all of those retailers to sell products to make money. These items are junky, they're terrible quality, and a lot of these small businesses are taking advantage and doing something that's been really popular lately called mystery scoops or lucky scoops, where they will take a couple of like plastic balls with like slips of paper and they will draw like about 10 to 15 balls. Their customers get a mystery pick of what they're going to be getting in their packages. I'm really tired of people falling for this garbage and buying garbage. And full on disclaimer, people are always saying like stop being a small business hater, don't shit on small businesses, and I want to say something very loud and clear to you people. Small businesses are not above criticism. And part of me doesn't even want to call these small businesses because they're simply just drop shippers, and I personally don't really count that as a small business, and I think it really takes away from real small businesses who actually bring in real quality products that are made with love and care and hard work and craft. And that is what I'm going to be dissecting today. So if people want to give me criticism for criticizing small businesses, I don't care because they're not above criticism. So I wanted to share 3 common like mystery scoops that I see on TikTok with you guys so we can just talk about the bullshit together. One of the biggest scams that I've seen out here that involve mystery scoops are these self-defense keychains. Now, I want to get something straight. There is nothing wrong with self-defense. I think it's important that people should be well equipped with certain self-defense tools. I think pepper spray, a taser / stun gun, maybe a whistle or an alarm, I think are great things to have for self-defense. I do. However, these self-defense keychains I think are really big scams that are created by these TikTok shop businesses, and I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into these. As I just stated in my intro, most of the stuff that you see from these safety or self-defense keychains are literally items that are being drop shipped from like Temu, Shein, AliExpress. They're junk, they're garbage, and I personally would not trust any kind of self-defense item from a website like that when they're being sold like a couple cents a pop or less than $1. I have seen so many of these mystery scoops where people will get like 15 items on their keychain. They may not get all of the items that the business owner has to offer in terms of self-defense items. And a good chunk of these items aren't even self-defense items. I've seen people get like pom-pom balls. They get a bottle opener. They get a lipstick holder. Like none of these things are going to protect you. I do have a bottle opener on my keychain. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a bottle opener on your keychain, but to say that it's a self-defense item is pretty freaking laughable in my opinion. I do think like some of these items don't all need to be on the keychain. Like when it comes to the seatbelt cutter, I think that could be kept in the car. The Cubiton, which is supposed to be a window breaker, can be kept in the car. I don't think it's necessary to keep all of these things on a keychain to begin with. I also see a lot of these businesses will sell you like 3 different things of knives. Like I've seen the cone knives, the pen knives, the key knives. You don't need 3 knives. Like one will do, but when it comes to these weapons or self-defense items such as the knives, the brass kitty knuckles, some people using the Cubitons as like an item to like do that to somebody. A lot of people don't realize that these aren't legal in a lot of places. So depending where you live, whether it's your state or country, you need to follow up on your laws to see if these things are even legal. And what's really fucking annoying is that a lot of these business owners will say like, oh yeah, they're perfectly legal, when they're not. They're just trying to scam you out of a buck to sell you something that you could probably get in serious trouble with if you had to use these to defend yourself, which I agree sucks because self-defense is self-defense. But if some sort of state or country sees that you were attacking somebody with a weapon as opposed to self-defense, even though we know you were defending yourself to begin with, you're gonna get really screwed and you're gonna get in a lot of trouble, and I don't want that for you. And I think that really sucks. So a lot of these businesses shouldn't even be promoting these items or selling these items when some people may not even be able to use them depending on where they live in the first place. Another thing that I have an issue with these self-defense keychains that are part of like mystery scoops is that there are so many items. I see a lot of these that come with like at least 15 items. And so let's say you are in a situation where somebody is coming up to you, they want to attack you. First thing you're going to want to do is obviously get out your safety keychain, but there's a very good chance that you're going to go into a panic or you're going to freeze. And as you're pulling out that keychain, it's going to take up too much time, and before you know it, it's going to be too late. You're not going to know which tool to use right in that very moment.
Oh no, I've been kidnapped by this man that I don't know, and now I'm stuck in his car. Whatever will I do? I know. Before I left for the day, I picked up my package from the mail office, and I remembered that I ordered a fucking self-defense kit. Let's see what they gave me so that I can escape from this car.
I promise you're not going to think as quickly as you think you are going to be when it comes to trying to protect yourself against your attacker. And that is another issue that I have with these safety keychains. Obviously, they come with great intentions. I do believe like everyone should have some sort of item, but only like 1 to 2 or 3, no more than that. That way you're not going to be stuck trying to make a decision on what tool you need to use to protect yourself. And I feel like these safety keychains are going to do the complete opposite because you're not going to know which thing to use in that very moment. Also know that a lot of these mystery scoops can come with a taser, and I'm just going to be really honest with you. I would never trust a taser or a stun gun that you can buy off of Temu or AliExpress. I'm not buying it. I don't think that it's going to be very strong to zap your attacker. I'm just not buying it. I'm not. Like, invest in a real good quality taser, not some sort of junky taser that probably costs a couple of bucks off of Temu, because I can guarantee you it's not going to do jack diddly squat to somebody who's trying to attack you. Like, just because it's cute and it's all blinged out doesn't mean that it's going to be of good quality and it's going to save your life. The biggest thing that I have with these mystery scoops, especially with the self-defense keychains, is that they are sold very cheaply off of these e-commerce platforms, and they are being heavily upcharged. Like, this self-defense keychain website is selling keychains for nearly $100, maybe a little under that, for items that literally cost maybe no less than $2 per piece. And here's the thing, I get there's overhead, I get that you need to make a profit, but I believe you could still make a decent profit by selling keychains at a more appropriate value than upcharging a shitty piece of plastic. I've seen these self-defense keychains, like the whole entire thing being sold on Temu for like $17, and personally I think that's a more appropriate price than upselling that for like close to $60 to $100. I think that's absolutely wild. But, you know, that's my opinion. Again, I understand there's overhead. I understand you need to make a profit. But at the same time, I think doing it this way is just honestly ripping off people. Because, again, the items have no business being this much money when they're going to break when you just snap it. They're literally shitty pieces of plastic that, again, have no business being that much money to begin with. So those are the self-defense keychains. Again, especially with the whole mystery scoops where they can get a mystery on what items will go on their thing, and they may not even get the kind of self-defense item that they want. It's a gamble. So that is a huge issue that I have with those self-defense keychains. I want to talk about the next thing that really bothers me when it comes to mystery scoops. So let's get into that. The next one are the makeup and self-care mystery scoop bundles. I think these are absolute worthless. They are complete ripoffs. A lot of my points are still very similar to what I said about the self-defense keychains, but let's talk about the makeup products. I can guarantee you a lot of these makeup products are, again, coming from Temu, Shein, whatever, or they're like things that you could easily find at like the dollar store or Five Below. They are off-brand products that are probably made with shitty quality ingredients that are probably not going to be safe for your skin. I would not trust any kind of makeup product that comes from Five Below or the dollar store. I know people have, shared like, oh, buy this, don't buy that from the dollar store or Five Below. I don't really care what people recommend. I will still never buy products from Five Below or the dollar store. That is my own personal decision. I understand some people are on budgets and that's what they can afford, and that's fine. But for me, I'm not taking that risk or chance on a product that is going to be made out of really shitty ingredients. And a lot of these e-commerce websites don't even list the ingredients that these products have in them, which I think is very irresponsible. And I also hate that these websites don't have proper quality control when it comes to something that you're going to put on your skin or face, etc. A lot of these makeup scoops also sell counterfeit products or dupes for even just drugstore brands. I've seen fake NYX products on there, and I would never trust that ever, because who knows what is in that product? You don't know what you're getting. And again, I don't find that to be safe whatsoever. I think it's really irresponsible to sell stuff like that to a customer just so you can make a quick buck off of it. Another thing with these scoops, whether it is the whether it's the self-care items, again, you're getting just a bunch of junk. You're getting a bunch of plastic that you're literally better off at like buying at like Walmart or Claire's or something else that you're gonna get for maybe just a little bit better quality. And when you're getting like a beauty scoop where you're getting like 3 makeup palettes, 2 blush palettes, when it's the same thing, that is just promoting heavy overconsumption. You don't need 5 million eyeshadow palettes, and I know I'm saying that as somebody who does have a decent amount of makeup, but I've gotten better and I've also trashed a lot of stuff and donated it. You don't need to be getting like gobs and gobs of lip glosses. Like, I think the lip gloss scoops are the absolute worst, especially when you get a repeat of the same scent, flavor, color, whatever. You don't need multiple items of the same goddamn thing. You don't. There's also a really good chance that you're not going to use all the products that come in these scoops to begin with, and you're going to let them expire and you're going to let them go to waste. I obviously have more of an issue with the makeup scoops than the self-care scoops, but I think the self-care scoops are just as useless and junky, and again, are also being upcharged heavily at ridiculous prices when you could get the same goddamn thing at another store. You don't need a mystery scoop of self-care products that are gonna cost like 2 cents off of Temu. You don't need it. You don't need it. Don't be fooled by this stuff, please. Then the last type of mystery scoop that really pisses me off, coming from somebody who is witchy, loves all things witchy, are these crystal scoops. Highland crystals is a big one that I've seen all over TikTok. I've had their lives pop up on my feed, and God, they are so annoying. Now, I will say, I was almost tempted to buy a scoop because I love crystals. I love crystals. I have them all over my apartment. I have so many crystals. But I knew something had to be up when you were getting a bunch of crystals for like $20 to $40 and you're getting like a huge scoop of them. Because newsflash, most of these crystals are fake. Or they're made out of glass and resin, and they're not going to provide you with real energetic value if that is something that you truly do believe in. I believe in crystal energy and healing. I know not everyone believes in that, but for me, that is important. And I know like a fake piece of plastic, resin, or glass isn't going to do diddly squat for me. And it's not going to do diddly squat for you if you want to practice crystal healing. Now, if you don't care if the crystals are fake, then that's one thing. You can use it simply as a decoration in your house if you want to, but I know most people who are buying crystals are buying it because they actually want real rocks. Regardless if it's going to provide you with energy healing or you just want to collect crystals because you're fascinated by geology, there's a good chance you're gonna want real stuff. And you're not gonna get real stuff in these scoops. Also, as somebody who lives in like a studio apartment, my space is limited. I just said that I have so many crystals and I'm running out of space for where I can put these crystals. So I'm pretty satisfied with my own crystal collection, which is another reason as to why I didn't buy this. But if you're looking to start your own crystal collection, I recommend that you avoid these. Go to like an actual rock store in your city. I recommend buying from like an actual rock store. You know, if you are getting real crystals in these scoops, you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what the seller has made up in terms of marketing. They could just say, like, oh, yeah, they're ethically sourced. But a real small business owner who sells crystals will be ethical about their products and be more transparent about everything else. So that can be something that's really important to people. I mean, if that's not important to you, then that's one thing. But if you want crystals that are ethically sourced, again, I wouldn't trust these crystal scoop stores that you see on TikTok. More complaints that I've seen from these crystal scoops. I've seen customers who have posted their reviews of these scoops where they've complained that these crystals have come chipped and broken. And it's a great way for businesses to constantly get complaints and not make profit like they want to. It's only going to hurt them in the long run. And I think it's just really stupid business practices when you sell really cheap material that will break. Plus, I also think that these fake crystal stores actually do a lot of damage to real small businesses that do sell crystals, as I mentioned. Because there'll be people who actually do sell real crystals, and because people are so convinced that every single crystal business on TikTok shop is fake, that they're probably going to assume that these authentic crystal shops that they see on TikTok are also going to be fake, and then that's going to hurt that business owner because there's so many assholes that ruin it for the rest of the business owners who are selling the real thing. Those are the lucky crystal scoops. I think they are not worth your money. I don't think they're worth your time. I mean, if you've purchased from them, I would love to know what your experience has been. Have you been happy with the items? How is the quality held up? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. If you like this video and it convinced you to not purchase these mystery scoop shops, comment down below and let me know as well, or give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video.